Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be talking about our recent travels. Back to Idaho we go. So this year we went 4th of July weekend up to the little town of McCall, which is where my husband's grandmother and occasionally one of his uncles lives. So his grandmother turned 100. Right before the 4th of July. One, I do not recommend going up to any tourist site over a holiday weekend. It was nuts. It was crowded. There were people everywhere. It was insane. So, but it was interesting. My daughter was, she is almost 4. I'm shooting this on the 16th of July. Her birthday is in a couple weeks. So she was almost 4. She'll be 4 in a couple weeks. So it was a different trip. And we also flew Southwest with my in-laws, which was, again, interesting. We've definitely learned a lot. I actually got hard suitcases. I went to Ross and got hard suitcases. If you can get those, I recommend them. They stand up a lot better, and try to get them in anything but like black because they stand out more. I believe ours are, I think 2 are light blue, one's a dark green, and then my daughter's has butterflies on it. But those are the butterfly suitcases, her carry-on, as well as one of our blue suitcases. And then, of course, we had backpacks. We had our collapsible stroller. Highly recommend. Bring your umbrella stroller. I have a bright red bag that we store it in for gate check. Highly recommend that. Now, the car seat situation. So we used the Sierra Next our first 2 flights because that was highly recommended. But my daughter has grown out of it. So if your child is getting up in the years, as I said, my daughter is nearly 4. She's about 37 pounds at this point, and she's about 3 feet tall. So the Sierra Next did not fit her. I actually did buy one at Walmart and ended up returning it because she was not comfortable. I did have her sit in it. It's like, no. So we moved on to another of the same brand. I'm going to look at it here. So we got the Costco Finale DX 2-in-1 booster. So it does forward facing from 40 to 100 pounds. So that's what we ended up with for this trip. This is a little bit bigger. It's very, very similar. It's just as lightweight. It fits in the pretty easily in the plain seats. Make sure you don't put the cup in because otherwise it fits funny. But it fits. And Serafina did fantastic. I did give her the Dramamine. We actually got through the airport really easy. So no issues. She fell asleep before liftoff. Right around liftoff, she passed out, and she slept through the entire flight until after we touched down. So, and that was fine. We did spend the night again at a hotel in Boise. This was my mother-in-law's idea. She was driving. Highly recommend not doing that. Do not share a car with your in-laws. It's not a good idea, particularly if your in-laws are in their 70s. I love my mother-in-law. She's annoying. But yeah, she was looking at her phone a lot, they just don't do technology. So, and this was a hybrid car, so it unnerved my mother-in-law quite a bit. So yeah, we did not stay in the same hotel we had previously because it was crowded, and very, very expensive because again, it was 4th of July weekend. So we stayed at like an extended stay business hotel on the way there. So we stayed the night. It was fine. It was close to restaurants. They didn't serve breakfast. We did go to breakfast the next morning. I think we got bagels or something. And then we drove up. And again, I remembered the Dramamine. When you're driving up a windy road, do not forget the Dramamine. I give chewables to my daughter. I take some myself. And it was fine. My daughter, I think she slept. She slept when we got up there and then was cranky. Now, this is something else I'm going to talk about a little bit, particularly with kids. On vacation and they're off their schedule and they're really overstimulated. My daughter had some meltdowns. Pretty normal for this age because they're out of sorts, which is again the reason I recommend not driving with anyone. Drive with your family so you guys can do things on your schedule and not get caught up in other people's stuff. So yes, I know it's slightly more expensive, but if you can do it, it would probably have caused less stress on our daughter if we had not had not been stuck in a car with my in-laws. So she did have a couple of decent sized meltdowns because she was tired, because she was out of sorts, because she was overstimulated. We just have a tendency to let them run their course. You can't really do anything. When she's in full tantrum mode, we just sit with her and let things run their course. And then she eventually calms down and cuddles with mom. So that's kind of how we handle it. So, because again, you can't logic a kid when they're in full tantrum mode. Their cortisol levels are through the roof. Their brain isn't working. They're in lizard brain mode. So we just wait it out. And she did have a couple of those. So we did have fun. My husband's mother-in-law had a massive birthday party. She was 100. Her long-term memory is there. Her short-term memory is gone. But again, it's a lot of things to remember. She's 100 years old. We did end up leaving early from the party because it was going to be about 2 hours long. We left after an hour because my daughter started having a tantrum. We went back into the house, let her calm down, realized, okay, she's tired. So we go back to the hotel because we did stay in a hotel this trip just because his grandmother is her short-term memory is shot. It's pretty much gone. She can mostly take care of herself, but her short-term memory is pretty much gone. She has to be reminded of things. And she has caretakers come every morning just to make sure she gets breakfast and takes her meds. And my mother-in-law's sister is next door. Her son is occasionally, not my husband's uncle is on the other side of his sister. Occasionally he has other places to be. So it's one of his multiple homes. If you want your children to earn a lot of money, dentistry, particularly spending hours doing root canals. That is what my husband's uncle did for many, many years and destroyed his neck and his back by spending hours looking into people's mouths. But he earned a decent amount of money doing so. But yeah, we stayed for about an hour. And the moment we got back to the hotel, she was asleep in 15 minutes. So tired kid. I am glad we stayed in a hotel this time because air conditioning. Yeah, it's still kind of warm up there. Now where we're at, if you haven't watched my videos, I am in fact in Phoenix. It is July. We don't go outside. We just don't. It's insanely hot. So it was really nice to be outside in the cooler air. We were actually able to spend some time outside. There are mosquitoes. We went hiking. We had fun. We went down and played in the water. But again, it was really, really crowded during this trip because it was 4th of July weekend. We normally, again, don't go this time of year because it's too crowded in a tourist town. Normally, we try to go end of August, September when things calm down. So we were able to see a bunch of family. We did have a lot of fun. And I didn't forget the Dramamine. So these are some of my news. Again, the car seat, if your kid's getting older, is the Costco Fanal DX 2-in-1 booster seat. It's forward facing, 40 to 100 pounds. So, and let me pull up the specs a little bit more because I do have, where is the width? Is it going to tell me the width here? It is only 12, so it's slightly heavier. It's 12.23 pounds on that. It is also a little bit wider. It's a 17.75 in width there. So, and then it's 29. It's almost 30 inches tall, and I think, about 18 inches in the depth there. So it should still fit airline dimensions. Let me do a quick check, because I also need to do this for myself. American Airlines. Let's do seat dimensions, because I think they have the smallest. I cannot spell, but thankfully Google. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Jump into here. American Airlines planes. Main cabin. Yeah, so their seat width is 17.3. So it's going to be a squish. You're sitting next to me, because this is 17.7. But I will, yeah, main cabin is 17.3 to 18 inches. So that's one of their Airbuses. So let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Though their Boeing has a 16.6 to 17.8, so they might be a little bit of a squish on those. But again, don't put the cup holder in. That should relatively work. I will let you know, because our next trip is going to be in October, and we are taking American Airlines, because my husband still has miles despite the fact that we canceled that card. So I will further that, because we will obviously be taking the same car seat. So I will, and that's pretty much as small as they get, unless you're taking something like Ryanair or whatever the really, really low cost stuff is. I don't recommend those. So, particularly not with children, because they nickel and dime you like crazy. So there's not much else. Again, I don't forget the Dramamine if you're going up into the mountains, or if you're going to go on any winding road. I actually took 2 myself on the way down. Headphones are great. Tablets, download stuff. I had my brother-in-law download a bunch of Peppa Pig stuff on my daughter's tablet. We may add to that or even some Disney Princess stuff, if they have that, at a later date, because he has a bunch of stuff downloaded already, so he can just transfer it, and he has the software to do it, and I don't. So it was a relatively good trip. Again, I would never drive alone on a long trip with my mother-in-law in a car ever again. Not happening. We bumped heads a little bit too much. So not a good idea. I am really looking forward to our October trip, and yes, I will film that. We are going to San Antonio, the 3 of us. So this is parent only, child. I'll talk about the Alamo and the museums there, and we're really looking forward to that trip. And again, I will press on, how did the car seat work? And yes, we do take our own car seat. If you've watched my previous videos, and according to my research, particularly the points guy, who I did a lot of research for our credit card, because we did transfer credit cards. My husband was on an American Airlines thing. We got rid of that a long time ago. Just because he does provide quite a bit of interesting information. I did further information. I think the links are probably in my first Idaho video. I don't know if I'm going to add them, because I didn't do it this year. But the taking the car seat on the plane, 1, it prevents your car seat from being destroyed, and 2, your kids are more comfortable. On our way back, Serafina fell asleep. Trying to think. It took her a little bit longer to go to sleep on this one. Maybe about a quarter of the way through. And she's more comfortable, because she's able to lean up against the edge of her car seat. She's more confined, and she's safer. I mean, even the FAA, which is the Federal Association of Flight, people who control airlines, so they recommend this. You cannot actually use regular little booster seats on the airplanes, because you can't connect them to the airplane. You also can't do those over the strap booster things, because it goes over into somebody else's space on the back of the seat, I believe, and I don't think that's considered safe either. So they have not been approved. So you do have to have an approved car seat. And these Costco, and no, that's not the company Costco, that the warehouse store. No, this is just, it's spelled differently. There's no T in this. So they are airline approved, though I've yet to have them actually check the car seat. As long as it fits and you have to put it in the window seat, I don't think they pay attention. But we do this just because the main reason, one, the kids are more comfortable on the airplane. If you're renting a car, I would not trust my car seat below the plane, even gate checked. If you're going to check it, get a hard case, because they throw those things around. I would not want my car seat damaged. That's also the reason I buy these slightly cheaper. I think this one was, this was relatively cheap. Not as cheap as the other one. Yeah, this was $79.99. So this is a heck of a lot cheaper than my $100 thing, that convertible that's in my car that also weighs a lot. So these are cheaper. They're good on the plane. You also cannot, I would not trust car seats rented from a rental car company, because you do not know what condition they are in. You don't know really how old they are. You don't know if they've been in an accident of any kind, and there's no guarantee you'll get one, and you need one. So we bring our own. It's our travel car seat. We've done this. This is the 3rd trip in a row. We're doing another one later this year, as I said. So I trust that. Also, again, highly recommend the Dramamine. I don't know if my kid gets airsick. I don't want to find out, quite frankly. I do know she gets car sick. I did not, because for our first 2 trips, I forgot it either going up or going down. So this time I didn't forget it at all. Thank God. And she slept. I think she slept on the way down too. It took her a little while, but she slept on the way down. So, but we had a relatively fun trip. I mean, it was nice, the weather. My daughter had a lot of fun. She was picking flowers. She played in the water. We did a little bit of a hike. We definitely make sure you have the sunscreen, bug spray, hats. I have a couple, though my daughter refused to wear it. I have a UV jacket for me. I have a hat. I insist my daughter wear a hat. She does have a UV jacket that zips in front. It's long sleeves, protects your skin, and sunscreen. So, and again, the wide brim hats. As you can see, I am very, very white. So is my daughter. So, I'm also covered in spots. I have lots of freckles and moles because genetics. So I'm very, very paranoid about my daughter's skin for notable reasons. She's also a blonde. So, we're Scandinavian English descent. So, but it was a great trip. McCall is very, very beautiful. Boise is nice. Just don't go on a holiday weekend. Don't. And I would never recommend traveling by plane around the holidays, ever, because it's insane. So we got lucky. Also, the airport in Boise is really, really small. It's very, very small. Also, when you book your own tickets. My mother-in-law got my birth date wrong. On our way back, I had to go back and change it. I don't know why. It was a pain in the butt. Make sure everything is correct. Preferably rent your own car, buy your own tickets. Don't share a car with in-laws if you can avoid it. Just don't do it. At least not with us. It does not work. So that's really it for this view. We are going up to Williams later this month, and I will do a video on that. That is a car ride. We are taking our own car. We are taking our own car. So, and I will do a video on that. I hope you enjoy the videos that are going on. I am currently working on 2024, getting Animorphs edited, working on Anne of Green Gables. I should be uploading the first the Anne of Green Gables book soon. I'm working on reading Anne of Avonlea. I have a giant stack of the Anne of Green Gables books next to me. Handily, Anne of Ingleside, right next to me. I am working on those. I'm working on a bunch of other stuff for 2024. 4 from Anna Green Gables, the Animorphs. The Boxcar Children will be coming up that year. And Wings of Fire. Those are my series for 2024. Then we're covering some interesting hobbies, Black History Month, Women's History Month, the Titanic. We're focusing on Asian history with Angel Island. We're doing European history on, or rather American, we're doing some Ellis Island stuff, so immigrant stuff. I'm doing Women Inventors, Beauty and the Beast, Space, Diwali, and Mysteries. I think that's all 12 months. But you can always watch some of the upcoming videos. But that is what's coming up in 2024. So like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. I will be doing more travel videos again. I have another road trip. I have a road trip coming up, and then we're going to Texas in October. So, and then I'm hoping to go to a national park come in 2024, but we are working on that. So like and subscribe again, and thank you.